Hello everyone and welcome to the Gunslinger / Sniper review for Shadow of Revan. Now I know the footage is the same Xeno Analyst hard mode footage that we used in the other video about the sniper, in the 4.0 sniper, but look, the game was really laggy and I had limited footage, okay? Limited attempts at getting footage. I don't have a lot. I'm running out of SWTOR footage, to be honest with you. Kind of running a bit low on it because, last week the game was fucking unplayable, right, for me. I just thought it was so unplayable. So fairly limited in the footage we could get, and the footage we will be using for this is quite old, so bear with me with that footage. Just bear in mind that it's going to take longer to get out. This won't be coming out for a while, mind you, because we still got the Vanguard one first to come out. But yeah, let's go and get into it now. The sniper, I don't know about this. I honestly don't like this class. I didn't like it in 3.0, and I was someone who mained a sniper in EC back when EC was the current raid tier. Doing ECHM was a lot of fun as a lethality sniper back then. And before you correct me and say virulence, 1, fuck you, and 2, it was called lethality back then, okay? But most importantly, fuck you, okay? Had to get that in first. To get it in first, people are gonna comment on me getting that wrong. Someone will. Someone always does. Say, oh, you got it wrong. Oh, lethality's the operative spec. No, it was the sniper spec as well. They were both the same name, okay? So yeah, virulence, lethality, dirty fighting, whatever the fuck it's called, was of course the highest parsing spec in the game currently, right now, on the targeting dummy. Is it the best spec though for bosses? Some bosses it is. Some bosses it is. Again, it depends on how long our dots are up. If our dots are not going to be up, I think it's 24 seconds is the corrosive grenade dot. If that is not going to be up, 100% uptime on that, if you can't get that on a boss or an ad, it generally isn't worth it. Generally is going to lose out. Fights like Underlurker, actually, Sharpshooter or Engineering tend to be better on those fights. Because again, target switching is where our dots lose out. Now, the problem with Underlurker is the ads are too spread out for dot spreading. Okay, we can't dot spread on those ads. So we have to go around and dot each one up. And then, most of our damage in lethality, or virulence, should we say, comes from Cull. Okay, we already made a mistake there. There you go. There you go. You can have that one. Most of it comes from Cull, and then our consequent takedown that we get, our takedown proc. So the problem is that we have to ramp up for difficulty, and Underlurker, in particularly in hard mode, is all about killing the ads. Okay, that's what it's all about. Killing the ads as fast as possible. Sharpshooter has the burst to do it. Sharpshooter is very, very good for burst. You get your penetrating rounds out, you get your snipe out, which hits, you get your snipes out, you get your auto crit ambush, which you have the 6-piece set bonus. You get 2 auto crit ambushes with your lace target. So again, you do get that burst damage, and you can kill one ad, you can reset the cooldown on your penetrating shots, penetrating rounds, can't remember what it's called. And then you can get another set off on one of the ads with an alacrity boost, which is quite nice actually. So for certain fights, for fights like Sword Squadron, where you are going to target switch, but you do get a reasonable amount of time, you're gonna get I think at least 2 dot cycles at least out of that. So yeah, it is worth it. It is going to be ahead, but don't take virulence as the best spec for every single encounter, because it's going to be weaker on certain encounters. Fights like, again, Bulow, it's very, very good on, because you're going to get uptime on the boss, and again, when we have to be away from the boss, we've got our dots ticking on the boss, of course, when we get the mass barrage. So it is a very good spec. What are the problems I have with it? One, it lacks mobility. It really does suffer from a lack of mobility. Now, should it be given all of its abilities channeled on the move? No. And the reason for that is, of course, you're a sniper. It would break the lore of the class. Being a sniper is not about, you're not quiet. In Metal Gear Solid 5, you're not teleporting around the place all the time. You can teleport. There you go, teleporting snipers, possibly. I mean, the sniper does relocate. in real life, you know, after you fire a shot, you want to relocate, obviously, because you give away your position when you fire a shot. But, I mean, will we get teleport? I don't think we will, to be perfect. We won't, actually. They've already been revealed. We're not going to get teleport. As teleporting snipers would be quite OP, actually. But, yeah, I mean, we are getting a reset on our cooldown. It's quite boring, actually, the sniper. So we definitely won't be playing... We won't be maining one, definitely. But the problem is most of the fights are tuned around you being able to move and being able to DPS on the go. If we compare a sniper to a gunnery commando who can use their bolt storm on the go, again, we can't use things like cull or our penetrating bolts on the go. You know, we kind of sit there and we see, oh shit, here's the mass barrage. At least if we're the dot spec, that's why we play virulence generally there. We can get our dots up. Now, there is a sort of consolation, a sort of workaround for this, and of course it was involved using quick shot. We could take a utility when we exited cover, because we want to be in cover, because again it gives us a extra defense chance, and we've got a utility that means we take less damage while in cover, which of course we're going to take, because we want to take less damage, of course. That's our goal as a DPS as well, is not only to deal high amounts of damage, but is to take a lot less damage, of course. We want to take as little damage as possible to minimize stress on the healers and not getting the healer pissed off at you. Okay, that's one thing you should do. It's one of the rules for DPS. Don't piss off the healer. Okay, so when we went out of cover, because of course you had to if you were moving, we would get our overload shot or quick shot. The 4 of them would cost no energy. Okay, it would cost 0 energy. Very, very useful, because that was our basic mobility. Basically, that whatever we were doing, we went out of cover, and unless the dots had fallen off, then in virulent spec we would be hitting our quick shot or overload shot. And again, if we were doing sharpshooter, we would again hit this when our unless our trick shot was available. Trick shot, or what was it? Follow up shot or something like that on the sniper. If that wasn't available, we would then hit our overload shot, and it did kind of minimize the DPS loss, but I was never a fan of it, to be perfectly honest. Never really liked the style of gameplay. I think that the 3 cull rotation, I never liked it. It was a bit of a pain in the arse for energy management, to be honest. And dirty shot or lethal shot, I never really saw the point in it, to be honest with you, with the snipe. And of course, the biggest problem that I actually had with it was the amount of friggin' cooldowns that we had to press. God damn it, it was so annoying. If you look at a pull, okay, look at a typical pull rotation, it was precast your flyby or orbital strike for nostalgic reasons more than anything, because its DPS was shit, to be honest with you. Terrible DPS. Again, we had to be in cover for this, which was annoying. You then had to, if you were dot spec, of course, get your dots up, get your weakening blast up, then you'd have to pop your laze target, then you'd have to pop your what was it? Illegal mods. I can't remember what the thing is called. I think it's target acquired. The sniper one is called. And then you'd have to go into cull, and it's like fucking 4 or 5 buttons you have to press just to do some reasonable damage. I wish they would get rid of laze target or roll it into target acquired. I wish they just roll those 2 in together. Roll illegal mods into Smuggler's Luck and just make it 1 button, for fuck's sake. It's really annoying to have to press 2 fucking DPS cooldowns. I don't think there's any other class in the game. You could argue maybe the Sage has it with the alacrity and then potency, but at least they're spread out a little bit. You know, you get your mental alacrity, and then you hit your dot up, you get your 2 dots up is first, your mind crush and your weaken mind, and then you get your turbulence off, then you pop your potency. At least they're separated out a little bit in the rotation. In the sniper, you're like, just press them all at the same time. And it is really annoying. It just is, for me, a really, really annoying thing. It's like I press 4 or 5 buttons, and what happens is, of course, you press those buttons, those keybinds, the extra few seconds. Oh fuck, I got a circle under me. Fuck off. And it's like, of course, you know what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen. It's like the game knows. It's like there's code in the game knows. BioWare know this. They know, oh, charging up them cooldowns, charging up them offensive cooldowns, are you? here's a grenade for you, or here's a red circle. It's like, fuck off. And it generally wait till you start channeling your cull, where they put a red circle on. They'll like that, they troll you like that. And now, if you're a commando, not an issue. Just move out of the circle, just like, or move away, while still channeling your bolt storm. It's not a huge issue as a commando. You've charged up before the fight starts, of course. You want to charge up, want to have that supercharge ready, and it's not an issue. And you're like, but as a sniper, you're like, oh fuck, my cull's gone. Cheers for that. Most of my damage came from, you know, cheers. Alright, we've got the auto crit on it. It's consumed 1 charge of the Smuggler's Luck, but we've wasted most of the uptime on target acquired. Cheers for that, BioWare. Thank you for that. And you're like, fuck you. So a lot of the boss designs just don't fit in with the sniper. And saying that, it is still a very viable DPS class, though. It does do a lot of damage. You know, being the highest parsing spec, it's not a slouch when it comes to damage. So, but that's my frustrations of playing it. And you saw on the live stream that we did how much frustrating it was to play it. Would I have liked to play it a bit more? Not really. We end up playing it by default because when we were gearing up a Scoundrel Healer, what happens is when you're min-maxing, you buy, sometimes you'll maybe buy a Gunslinger item because it has a good enhancement on it, because maybe it's got power alacrity, and you're thinking, oh, I want that power and alacrity because I'm a bit short on alacrity, and you know, I want to hit my alacrity target. But the Gunslinger item, the Mender item has crit surge on it, and I don't need that. I want power alacrity, so I take the power alacrity one from the Gunslinger, and what you were left with was an armoring that was free. And that's why our Gunslinger ended up with the 6-piece set bonus, really. Mods and enhancements were pretty crappy, because the good mods and enhancements all went to your Scoundrel. And it's like, you know, no, I don't want them. They're going to my healer, they're going to my main, and then Gunslinger was left with what was left. So that's why I think you're like, do you know what? It ended up being my best gear DPS. And it's like, shit, I'm going to have to play this now, aren't I? I'm going to have to actually use this now. And I kind of got suckered in and stuck with it by default. So next expansion with Mastery coming, hopefully we won't get stuck in that situation. Although we might end up getting stuck in the situation with set bonuses as well. That was why we ended up playing a Gunslinger in hard mode. Should point that out. And didn't enjoy it, really, to be honest. I know a lot of people out there do enjoy it, but again, a lot of people thought, look at those commandos, look at those fucking commandos. Heavy armor as well, more mobility than us. That sucks. I mean, yeah, we're a sniper, we've got a big heavy rifle. Again, we need to be zeroed in, and we need to be accurate, and again, we want that illusion of being a sniper, but you know, we also want to do high DPS on the boss without moving and ruining our DPS. So there you go. It was kind of a little compromise that they put in with that. But overall, expansion-wise, I didn't enjoy it, this expansion. And I normally enjoy playing a sniper, and I think that's ultimately its biggest flaw was the lack of mobility. Even if you could have like a cooldown that could allow Cull to be used on the move just once, maybe target acquired, 2-minute cooldown, let Cull be used on the move, maybe take the crit away from Lay's target, change it to something else, and just let us, you know, have a go on, you know, use Cull or something while it was on, you know, while on the move. Just maybe once every 2 minutes would have been nice, at least. It would have given us the option, at least. You know, kind of like if you think of a mage in WoW that have ice flows, which you can say you're in the middle of a channel and you have to move, or you're in the middle of a cast and you have to move. In WoW, you could press ice flows, which is a really useful talent actually as a mage, and it lets you cast the thing while on the move. It does have 2 charges and it does have a cooldown, but it would be nice to have something like that on the sniper. I think it would have really improved it. Certainly would have improved marksmanship dramatically and made marksmanship certainly viable, but it would have certainly helped out. I mean, it's not a huge DPS, it's not a huge DPS loss like in marksmanship if you have to move, but it's still a loss because you still get your dots up at least with virulence. Engineer Saboteur, I never really played that much. Apparently it was decent actually, it was pretty decent, a lot of people said. PvP is still pretty good, and PvE it was viable on certain fights. Fights with target switching, again, it was pretty viable. Underlurker, I hear it was viable. I didn't really know anyone that played it. Most people I know played Sharpshooter or Marksmanship on Underlurker. Very few people ever played Virulence. You might have put one person as Virulence, maybe, but certainly if you... the default choice was always going to be marksmanship for that fight just because of the burst damage that you got. But anyway, that is all for this video. Last up, and of course least, is the Marauder. I was thinking about, should I do a Marauder video or shouldn't I do a Marauder video, because I've already did a kind of Marauder review. I don't know yet, but we'll maybe take a look at the Marauder, because we already did a video on Marauders in the middle of the expansion, and I don't think my opinion hasn't really changed much on them. So whether that might just leave that as the Marauder review, and that will be it. We did the what the fuck happened to Marauders. So I don't know about that, because that kind of is the Marauder review in a nutshell. So I don't know if we'll do another Marauder video. It'll just be the same stuff over and over again. Might do it to get the dollars in, you know, and people will click it and go, oh, it's the same shit. Yeah, there you go. Clickbait. See, I could get a job at IGN. Employ me. I'm good at doing clickbait stuff. But anyway, that is all for this video, and thank you for joining me. And don't forget to subscribe. Pimp them subscriptions. Gotta pimp them out as well. There you go. You get a job pimping subscriptions. Subscribe. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.